Right now at 6, what new court documents reveal about the moment a pot shop worker allegedly shot and killed a couple of would-be robbers. Plus, our first look inside Multnomah County's new center offering illegal drug users a path toward treatment.
It is the first step in really addressing a challenge and a problem.
And a vibe check from Eugene, with the Ducks set to take on the Buckeyes.
People know big games here. I mean, there have been a lot of big games here. Now, there's never been one like this.
Oh, good evening. It's being called the biggest game in Autzen Stadium's storied history, where for the first time, two top three teams sweat to square off. I'm David Molko here, joining you this Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. We're less than 24 hours away from a major game in Eugene, possibly the biggest game of the season. We want to bring in John Adams right now, live there. John, you've been talking to folks around there. How are they feeling on the eve of the festivities?
Well, David, I can tell you the excitement level on campus is really high here this evening. We are right outside of the ESPN College Game Day set, which will kick off a full day of college football tomorrow. Fans from both sides are ready for the biggest matchup of the college football season thus far. The town of Eugene buzzing on Friday. For the first time in its history, two top three teams will square off at Autzen Stadium on Saturday.
Two of the biggest brands in college football. It's Oregon, Ohio State. Doesn't get any bigger than that.
While Ducks fans have come out in full force, many Ohio State fans have made the trip to Eugene.
We've been here all week. Incredibly welcoming experience. The fans have been awesome, so it's been really, really cool.
For the first time in 2 years, ESPN will host its popular traveling show College Game Day from the Oregon campus Saturday morning.
People know big games here. I mean, there have been a lot of big games here. Now, there's never been one like this. Never been a top 5 matchup, certainly never a top 3 matchup in Autzen. So there's never been a game like this, but there have been numerous big games.
For some, this weekend means a house divided, like for Oregon graduate Sophie and Ohio native Kyle, who just got engaged this week. All right, who's going to win the game?
Ohio State for sure.
Oregon.
Ohio State. Ohio. That's it.
Get out of here.
Ohio State fans think the Buckeyes will be able to handle the crowd at Autzen Stadium.
So I think it's going to be a great matchup. Ultimately, I think the Bucks are going to win. That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be exciting. First time coming here, but the boys are ready, and big crowd, big energy. Number 2 versus number 3. You can't get better than that.
Ducks fans, however, think differently.
All right, it's going to be a blowout. Ducks are going to win this game by a landslide.
Autzen's going to be ready. Autzen's known for being one of the most hostile environments, really loud, and I think we're definitely going to bring that energy on Saturday. I think we're actually going to break the decimal record for how loud it's going to be.
I have never been in a place that's like Autzen Stadium. And then especially when they get to the end of that third quarter and that twist and shout, they'll be twisting and shouting with us.
The key is bringing the noise. Autzen's the loudest stadium in the whole country.
All right, we are taking a look at some of the signs the fans have here lining up for College Game Day. People have been in line since noon today. Other people coming at 2, but you can see a huge line of people already forming. College Game Day starts tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. The game, of course, kicks off at 4:30, and you can see it right here on KGW. David, back to you.
Sounds like you better get some earplugs if they're going to break the decibel record, right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, John. 2 words, go Ducks. All that action, as he said, right here on KGW. Join us immediately following for a special edition of KGW News with team coverage, including Orlando Sanchez with live post-game coverage from the field. He'll need earplugs too. Plus, coming up on the story, Pat and team dug deep into the KGW vault and found some Oregon-Ohio State footage from the early 60s. We'll have that for you on the story that's coming up at 6:30. In your headlines now, the mother of a toddler who died of a suspected fentanyl overdose was arraigned today over what authorities say happened after the child's death. We have also learned she's allegedly connected to a man shot by police this week. Mary Jacobo is accused of committing several crimes. According to court documents, she was with Jesse West when the two of them both pointed a gun at a driver at a North Portland Transit Center last month in a carjacking. West is the suspect shot and wounded by police in the Woodlawn neighborhood later that same day. Investigators note the two had been been seen together several days leading up to the robbery there. Jacobo was eventually arrested in Seaside back on September 12th. Authorities say her 2-year-old daughter died of a suspected fentanyl overdose. Jacobo has not been charged in connection with her daughter's death. We are learning more this evening about the North Portland cannabis shop employee charged with shooting and killing 2 alleged robbers. This was last week at the LaMotta shop in the St. John's neighborhood. Court documents indicate 34-year-old Jason Steiner, the employee, was able to get out of the store during the robbery, though instead of calling police, Steiner allegedly went around the building to the drive-up window, pulled out a semi-automatic handgun, and opened fire on the men inside. Detectives say surveillance video shows they had their backs to the window and never saw Steiner. He turned himself in and pleaded not guilty. Police are looking for a 3rd robber who got away. And Boeing says it will lay off 10% of its workforce, an estimated 17,000 people, as the strike by more than 30,000 machinists enters its 5th week. Boeing says it will also delay the rollout of its new wide body, the 777X, by a year, putting it about 6 years behind schedule. It'll also stop making commercial 767 freighters, the end of an era there. This week, both Boeing and the union filed dueling complaints with the National Labor Relations Board, accusing the other of not bargaining in good faith. Negotiations broke down after Boeing pulled its latest pay offer earlier this week. And one more headline for you. Oregon State Police say troopers have intercepted a large shipment of crystal meth on I-5. Authorities say a trooper pulled over a vehicle in Lynn County Tuesday evening for a traffic violation. A canine inspected the car and allegedly found 40 pounds of meth in the trunk. 27-year-old Shayla Lopez of California was arrested and booked into jail. Matt?
All right, David, thank you very much. We're seeing the beginning of what will be a beautiful sunset at the Oregon coast. That's our Chinook Winds Casino Skycam out in Lincoln City. It's going to be spectacular, right? 64 degrees there. The question is, what will happen after sunset? Will we see this again? This is a picture from last night. Hammond, Oregon. Jim and Karen Young taking this awesome shot of the Northern Lights. Many of us saw them. I took this one out in the gorge by Crown Point last night. Great color in the sky. Northern Lights were dancing around if you roll a time lapse for a little bit. So again, what about tonight? The clouds are going to clear. We've got that going in our favor, but the storm that created the Northern Lights, the solar storm, has waned and weakened, and it's very unlikely that we get a repeat performance tonight this far south. So I hope you enjoyed it last night. They were seen as far south as Texas and Florida last night. Just an amazing display, but it looks like it's going to be a one-off. All right, the other big thing going on in Oregon is the game tomorrow. Of course, we touched on that. It'll be a mostly sunny day, about 50 degrees in the morning if you're going down for college game day. Kickoff temperature about 75, so really perfect conditions for football or anything you have planned this weekend. It's going to be a beautiful, warm weekend. Enjoy it. It's going to get cold and wet next week. More on that in a bit, David.
We're not going to worry about that right now. Thank you, Matt. Today, we got our first look inside Multnomah County's Delayed Deflection Center. That is where Portland police will take people when they are caught with illegal drugs and both choose and qualify for treatment instead of jail. Sydney Dorner is live outside the center in Southeast Portland. So, Sydney, walk us through how this is going to work.
Well, David, starting Monday, staff here at the Coordinated Care Pathway Center will provide people dropped off with mental health support, medical screenings, and most importantly, a road towards recovery. When you look around Portland, you see people living on the streets, many struggling with drug addiction. Tony Vesna from 40 Recovery has lived through that pain firsthand. He's now working to help them.
You see people and they're kind of in a hopeless state, but you've been there and you know there's a way out and you transformed your life. That instills hope in people where they're like, oh, I can do it too.
Starting in September, Oregon law allowed some people caught with illegal drugs to opt for treatment over jail. But until now, these services were provided by mobile outreach workers. Now, those who choose to get treatment will be taken right here to the Coordinated Care Pathway Center in Southeast Portland.
Reduce wait times by having more efficient and coordinated approaches so that when services become available at one place, a person's able to get in right away as we wait for more services to be developed.
This deflection center will be managed by the Turk House, a nationally recognized nonprofit providing addiction and recovery services. Executive Director Bernard Gaby Foster says they will work with the county to handle intake, medical screenings, and getting people set up with short-term sobering services.
It's not exhaustive by any means, but it is the first step in really addressing a challenge and a problem that has been going on in this city for a while.
The next step for the county is a 24-hour sobering center in-house, expected to open in April.
Building that system will be able to sort of serve as a one-stop shop for the patient, mitigating a lot of the barriers to getting into treatment.
Now, there is an exception to this. People cannot come to a deflection center if they are charged with other crimes, have warrants, or have failed at a deflection treatment in the last 30 days. David, back to you.
Sydney Dorner in the Buckman neighborhood tonight. Thanks so much, Sydney. Meanwhile, this afternoon, lawyers for a preschool near that deflection center lost their bid to stop it from opening, a judge denying them a temporary restraining order. Their lawsuit argued the county violated public meetings laws when planning the center. Parents say they are worried about their kids' safety with the center just a few blocks away. Well, we are just 25 days out from the November election, with the Multnomah County Elections Division getting the word out about the new voting method in the Portland mayor and city council races. We, of course, are talking about ranked choice voting. In the mayor's race, voters can rank their 6 favorites. The first candidate to pass 50% wins. If no one does in the first round, the lowest ranked candidate is eliminated, with votes moved to those voters' number 2 choice. So cross off the bottom, those votes go up, and so on and so forth. Similar in the council race, though, because it is a multi-winner with 3 candidates per district, 25% is the threshold to win. The ballots will be counted by machines. The elections office says voters don't need to worry about how long it'll take to see the results.
This is the way we've been presenting results for as long as I know.
We will continue to post regular updates until all ballots have been received and processed and results are certified on December 2nd.
It could very well be, however, that the leading candidates on election night, when about half the ballots cast are typically reported by the county, may no longer be the leading candidates when the next batch of votes are tallied and reported, especially in the council races. By the way, the deadline to register to vote or update your registration in Oregon is next Tuesday. Hey, coming up next week on KGW, you'll be able to hear from the top 5 candidates for Portland mayor. You can join yours truly, along with Shane Dixon Kavanaugh from the Oregonian, for the debate next Tuesday at 6:30 in the evening. Watch it live right here on KGW or streaming on our KGW Plus app that's available now on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and Apple TV. Straight ahead at 6, the chef behind a beloved Portland food cart hospitalized after he suffers a serious hiking injury. Hear from Jeff Chow and the folks rallying behind his recovery. It's right after this.